Hello, everybody. This is stand-up comedian Jesus Trejo. You are watching the Todo Latino Show. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. No, where are you going? I said don't go anywhere. Come back. I can see you. You're still... There you go. Sit down. Have a seat. Let's have fun.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Todo Latino Show. I am your host, Rafael. I am here with the crew, Daisy, Yovi. We have a great show for you today. Cardi B is expecting her third kid. Ben Affleck is apparently using J-Lo's drink as the reason for why he's getting a divorce. We go through the top 10 songs, or Latino songs, of GBT from 2000. And joining us on the show is comedian, actor, award-winning author, Jesus Trejo. What's up, man?
Hey, thank you for having me. This is really cool.
Man, it's been a while.
It has.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it's been, what, 4 years?
Probably about 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Long time. And to top it all off, like the last time we did this, it was on the Todo Latino Show, we were like online.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in
what
person.
a beautiful studio. As soon as I walked in, I'm like, wow, this is nice. I like what's going on. The vibe is cool. So.
And there's the promo shot for 1500 Live.
Yeah.
Hey.
At Pro Audio LA.
1500 Live. Yeah, it's
the
great.
promo.
Really great.
It's really amazing to have you. I can't wait to get in. We're gonna actually do some highlights first, and Jesus is gonna join us for all that. So we'll get.
Okay,
He said he's not big on this news, but he's gonna try his
I'll
best.
do my best. I'll do my
Okay,
best.
he's gonna chime in. So go ahead.
So did you guys know Cardi B is expecting her third child with Offset? Woo! But they're not gonna stick together. She's filing divorce.
filing.
Yes,
Yeah,
filing for divorce. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. To be honest, they've been on and off for many years, and I used to think they were a cute couple, but they're never really stable in my opinion. So I'm not
toxic as hell, man.
They're toxic, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get back together eventually and then have the fourth child. But what do you guys think?
I think she said it best. Why would you need to even go out there and let everybody know?
Well, yeah, because the thing is that there was, after the announcement of her pregnancy, she put the filing of the divorce, and then she made another announcement saying, hey, this third kid that I'm having is from Offset. And I was like, why? Okay, you're making it clear to us.
People, I think people are going to question. That's why.
Well, allegedly, he's never been faithful to her, so I can see why maybe she had hoped that the relationship would get better, but maybe he kept going.
They grew apart. I'm not surprised what you say. Maybe later on they may get together. I don't know, but I wish it the best. I definitely would like to see more music, and hopefully
maybe more breakup music, which we love. So
he keep working
why
hard.
is it every time that the women break up, there's a breakup music?
Better songs. It's proven.
It's true though. Like every single time there's a
breakup
relationship, there's a break. Like Shakira just capitalized on it. It's, I mean,
Taylor
Swift has made her whole life.
What do you think about that?
I think what you're saying right now is really interesting. I think when you're talking about artists, especially music, but you see it in every genre, I think whatever's going on in their lives leading up to that album or that piece or that sequence of works, you see it reflected. So it makes sense that somebody would make breakup music. It would make sense that somebody is like, I'm curious to see what that's gonna sound like, but yeah, it's like I think it reflects it, if that makes sense.
They do that. I mean, they do it in comedy though, right? Like I think comedians do it.
100%. Our North Star in stand-up comedy is Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor. He was always reflecting what was going on in his life, good or bad. I mean, some of it was, it's like things that you're like, oh man, at the time, it's like I can't believe he's talking about this, but he was very truthful, and I think art is where people turn to bring their truth to.
It's like therapy, so to speak.
It's kind of like, for stand-up it is.
Everybody copes differently through music, through comedy, through
Have you ever taken your
Sure. I mean, I've talked about my caregiving journey. With my parents. My late mother. I talked about that, like a bunch of like what that was like. Being a caregiver, and it's like my experience and trying to find the humor in it. So sure, it's like I think people have a different threshold as to what they want to bring to the stage. And at the time, that was, my truth, and I spoke about it, in a respectful way, trying to make it funny. And I think as a matter of fact, I've heard this before. It's like you find, what is it? You find commonality through specificity. So the more specific you are with an experience, it's like, so I'm sure circling back to what you're saying, this album, I think it's going to bring like commonality with people. It's like I've been through that.
Yeah.
You know, so
definitely something that they can relate to.
I'm excited for that album.
So I'm interested. You're assuming that's what she's gonna do. She came up. That whole conversation started with an assumption. So we'll see. We'll see if she pops
after she
out.
gives birth to her third child.
She's
It's
got
a
inside
bittersweet
news.
moment in her life because, you know, sweet because of the pregnancy, but bitter because of everything that she's going through. But she said that she's not going to stop having her tour, her music, everything is coming through. So
That's crazy.
serves us as an inspiration.
yeah, 100%.
All right, so we're gonna go into the divorce topic again.
Oh no, it doesn't
Apparently,
stop
that's
here.
what seems to be happening in celebrity.
Hollywood.
So give it up to Hollywood to always give us those stories. So J-Lo and Ben, and we thought the move, you know, it was just another boring J-Lo and
we
Ben
did speak
breaking
about
up, another divorce for J-Lo. Here's the thing. So according to sources, and this has been all over the news now, Ben's pal said the last straw was J-Lo's cocktail line, and that's what started the divorce. So apparently his friend said that it made Ben sick. He had to fight to get his life back after overcoming alcohol, knowing how he lost everything, including the love of his family, knowing he could possibly relapse. Jen decided to her own spritzer line for more money, as if she did not have enough. That was quotes, by the way. They added, that was one of the things that broke the camel's back, but because Ben wanted to save his sobriety. Do you buy that?
I will say I found it extremely rare that she started a alcohol brand when she doesn't even drink herself.
I know.
I was so confused with that. I tried it for the
So
premiere
I didn't
of
know that.
Mother.
J-Lo don't drink?
She doesn't.
She does not drink, and she's promoting
Interesting.
alcohol. So
Yeah.
that's weird to me. I don't know. I didn't really
She's
think that
not a
was.
drinker.
Yeah.
Would that cause you, like, would you, okay, so I'm not somebody who's dealt with substance abuse or anything like that. Would that be something that would keep you away? Or do you just stay away from the business and, like, because I feel like using that as an excuse for the divorce, probably a little sus.
I think her selfish ways. The fact that she's never stopped wanting attention, like I think maybe it was more what she was doing behind the scenes. It seems like he wanted a more relaxed lifestyle, and she was always trying to be out
But
there.
she has
Like,
been being always very hypeful. It's like, you know, he also has like a gambling problem. Imagine if she will be going to the casino also all the time. So I don't know.
But she doesn't have to go to the factory. It's not like it's not like, I mean, I don't know. Like, he doesn't have to join her for
Exactly.
that part. Like, I don't know. What do you think, like, if you had that issue and you were married with somebody who was now doing that, like, do you feel like that would be your out? And first of all, this isn't Ben's words; these are his pals, so to speak.
That's what they come
And it's
into.
interesting. Like I'll go devil's advocate to what you said. I'll go the opposite. I think, like, assuming best intentions, right? If he said that he can't be around it, it's like you have to respect somebody's boundaries, especially with something so delicate as like substance abuse, right? If that's what they need, and you also hope on the other side of that is like you also hope that your partner, your person, you know, is able to understand that, right?
Yeah.
It's like to kind of give you an environment that's going to be conducive to your sobriety, what you need. So, if that's true, I think, you know, it sounds like he knows what his boundaries are, which I think are very hard. It's like we've all tried to put boundaries, and that could be very hard. So I don't know. It's I don't know too much of their relationship or history, but if that's true, I think, you know, I think he's looking out for his well-being.
And you think that's I don't know. Like, I find it weird that he would
Target on that.
target on that. I mean, they have so many other issues, and I feel like now, don't mind me. You know, there's people who are gonna be like, oh, he's just protecting himself. I'm not the type of person who likes to watch sexual content or anything like that. So when there's people in my house watching that kind of stuff, I'm like, you guys can go watch that. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, and so for me, like, I feel like if you're married to somebody, I'm pretty sure that line was coming out like before he even got with her, because that's a long process.
yeah, I don't think that's the reason.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just stay away from that unless she's literally bringing it to the house and everybody's partying
But that's what
with the
Daisy
wine
and I are
and the,
saying. She's not drinking. She may do the promo, the content. She may have, obviously, the production of it. But she herself doesn't drink. So I don't know.
But she mainly did that during the premiere of Mother, because we went to an after party.
She was
Remember?
promoting the drink.
And
I
that's what
remember
they were promoting at that event.
She's
They
a
had the
person.
alcohol there, but they weren't even there that long.
That's why I'm saying, how is it
Because
affecting her
we
marriage if
remember-
she's not drinking herself?
They were in the corner booth, I think, for maybe 45 minutes. And then after that, they left, and everybody else was left drinking her stuff. Now, mind you, I don't drink. So I think if I had somebody who was creating an alcohol line or something like that.
Was he there as well?
Yeah.
He was there. Yeah, he
so
was.
maybe he just doesn't want to be around it. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
but see, around it is different for me than like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stay away.
yeah, so
Like, when
maybe
she
that's
goes to
the
the
key.
factory, don't go.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I guess
don't know.
everyone's different. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's hard to arrive at something. It feels like we don't know the whole story, right?
I feel like, well, there's definitely something missing. Because
Yeah.
also the story is coming, you know, his pals are saying that's what
Through
broke.
third parties.
That's what broke the camel's back, according to what they were saying. I'm just saying, I'm curious. For all of you watching this, would that be a deal breaker for you? And should, you know, does it sound just wishy-washy? Like, now they're trying to come up with reasons for that. Comment below. Definitely interested to hear on that. All right, we're going to talk about social media hotness. Quinceañera's gone wild. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
You saw the video?
I saw the video. I finally was trying to figure out. Everybody's like, oh, you guys should watch this. It's really weird. I saw pictures and memes of it because everybody was sitting there going, Tia's, you know, probably going nuts.
Tía, la abuela le estaba dando un ataque.
So apparently, this girl had a quinceañera, just to kind of paint the picture. We're going to play the clip here, you know, for those of you who are watching the show. But, and they went in, dirty dancing and everything. I mean, it was all twerking. They were on the floor, twerking butts up in the air and all kinds of stuff.
Weren't they giving lap dances to the?
They were giving lap
kids,
dances to the guys.
To the
I mean,
chambelán?
it was
No.
Yeah, it was an insane process. And as I'm watching it, it started off okay because it was just some merengue. They were doing some salsa, and then all of a sudden, the floor dropped. I was like, I was expecting, you know, Lil Jon and stuff to come in and Luda because, I mean, it was just crazy. You have seen the videos as a woman. Because I know as a dad, I would have grabbed that girl, that everybody who was out there, we would have just left. That quinceañera's over. It's a wrap. But as women, what do you think?
I don't know.
First of all, have you had a quinceañera?
Coming from me, that I had a quinceañera and a surprise dance. Looking back at my surprise dance, it was so innocent compared to hers.
I would say the same thing.
My parents would have dragged me out of that party if they saw me doing that.
There you go.
Like, no, that would have
I feel like the tea coming from that quinceañera had to be like legit. Like, people, you know that the expression, oh, there's somebody talking about me, there's an ear ringing.
Yeah.
That shit must have sounded like sirens.
The thing is that you got to draw the line when something is trending versus, you know, getting in doing about it and executing it. That's the thing, you know, that's where you get confused within the lines. I'm like, okay, yes, you like the music, the trending, but the choreography, what they were wearing, how, you know, everything is just like.
These
it was
aren't
very
adults, by the way.
sexualized.
It's a quinceañera.
Yeah.
It's a quinceañera. It's like, where, you know, age
I'm curious who the
appropriate.
choreographer was.
And then I'm like, I'm not even saying.
It's like Ice Spice's choreographer. Like,
Exactly.
Have you seen the video?
What's that?
Have you seen the video?
I don't think you've seen the
I
video.
haven't seen the video at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He will check it out.
But I agree with what you're saying. There's a traditional aspect to it, and it's like it's supposed to be celebrating womanhood, right? It's like the innocence of a young lady entering womanhood. So it's kind of like
We have the whole tradition of the muñeca, that because you're entering womanhood. You know, it's the innocence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Are you justifying it because
No.
she's going into woman?
He's not justifying.
No, I was curious if he was like twerk it up. No, I'm just,
No, he's saying that it should be an innocent experience.
It should
not
be a transition.
sexualized. Yeah.
It's a celebratory.
And it's very familia oriented
Exactly,
too.
yes.
Oh yeah, the whole family was there.
Tu abuela, tu tía, todo el mundo is like, hello. It's like, come on, you know, but your elders are there too.
I'm surprised nobody stopped it though.
That's the part that really got me. I'm like,
And you can hear the women, some women, you know, because there's some crazy.
The tias went
out
home
there.
and were
It was
talking
not
smack
cute,
on that.
you know,
quinceañera.
that's
There were some
People get
people who were I'm assuming it's their friends who were sitting there screaming in the background because like they were all cheering that on, and I was just like, I don't know who was cheering
Also,
because
as a
it was
family
just,
member, what are you going to be the one to stop it? Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like
the
not
values.
You didn't buy it, so there's a respect thing. And it's like, sabes que no me voy a meter. I mean, that's not my deal. That's not my daughter. You know. So
I agree with
a
that.
lot
Yeah.
of people were like, Yeah, what do? You're
not gonna walk into the dance and be like, "Stop this right here." Right. Yeah, no.
Get off stage, it's like because there's a period of time where all the teenagers. I remember there was a time that you go to everybody's quinceañera and all of that, but then it's like how you upstage that. It's like it just went a little bit.
But quinceañeras were innocent.
Yeah. It would have been funny if everybody's dad, of all those girls who just went up there at one time, just grabbed their daughters. Just grab them.
Well, you guys want to know something funny that you might think is weird? My mom actually got me a stripper for my 21st birthday. But hey, that's my
21 though.
Yeah. And I thought that was cool of my mom to do because I would have never expected her to do that.
Yeah, that's a different type of situation. I wouldn't have done that, but moms and daughter relationships completely different.
I think she got it for herself though. Now that I think about it, I don't think it was for me.
She was definitely projecting that need. It's like when you buy something and you actually need it for yourself.
Yeah, I was like, why would I want a stripper for my 21st? But okay.
She was like, you need this, sweetie. You need this.
That's funny.
She's like, no. You definitely need this. And you're like, I'm not even the one.
I'm gonna step back. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one in front.
Do you have kids?
No kids.
No. Okay, I was gonna say, what are your thoughts as a parent?
No, I don't have kids.
As a tío.
As a tío, your niece being in a quinceañera and doing that.
It goes back to the thing of it's not my daughter. I mean, if they ask me for my opinion, it's like, hey, I don't think that's appropriate. It's a kid.
Yeah.
We're talking about a kid. Let's not lose sight of that.
Yeah.
But it's, again, it's not my kid. If they were to ask my opinion, I'm like, it's like, I don't think this is appropriate. It's a kid.
So we all agree it was wrong, but
I mean, the comments
it's none of our business. Yeah.
agree with us. It's not like we're in the anomaly here, like the minority. Everybody in the comments was like, nah, this is crazy. And everybody knew some shit was going to happen once I quinceañera was over. Because, damn. Sorry. All right, so then from there, we're going to transition to another thing.
Another rambunctious story.
Women seem to be the topic of this conversation. The hot Tua girl.
Oh, my gosh.
Spit on that thing.
Oh, yeah, she won the lottery when it comes to viral. The viral lotto, she won.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, that one was like a clip. It kind of comes up here and there.
It comes up, yeah.
My thing is, when do you put a stop to going viral and not making it that it's your whole career? Because she is turning it into a career now.
Listen, but the thing,
she didn't make it a career. They made it into a career.
No, she had her 5 minutes of fame, but now she's confusing.
Now? I thought it was 15.
Or 15.
Whatever it was.
I personally didn't think it was funny.
It was a whole last interview.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if she was sober or not. I don't like that's not my thing to figure it out. So she wasn't sober?
No, she wasn't sober.
Okay, so but I think virality is one of those things where like you can't once you got it.
You hit jackpot.
You can't choose it. Now, I see what you're saying.
She's going on tour now. She's like...
Because she's being paid to do it now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but how long is it going to last?
She's banking on it. I
don't know.
So pros and cons.
And why would you want to be famous for that?
I don't know.
That's
that's where my thing goes is like, at what point...
How would you handle it? I'm curious because it's like, when does it stop? And it's like... You're going on tour, so it's like, how would you handle it if somebody was like, you're in that situation, right? And they say, hey, like, there's a $25K appearance fee, and it's a club, you don't have to do anything, just kind of like, see you behind the DJ booth waving at the audience.
Yeah, maybe because I'm not in the situation. I just think it's gonna get old, and everything is gonna go away, and she's gonna like be forgotten.
Well,
so
she has an army of people behind her right now.
I don't think she needs to be getting security guards. I don't think she needs to be like taking it.
Yeah, she's got. So she got to sing on stage with Zach Ryan, and she said she can't sing for shit, but she ended up being on stage.
She got
so now she wants to be a singer?
An agency, by the way. They signed her up.
Yeah, she's got managers now. She's made over $100K already.
Oh, good.
So I need to hawk Tua in the video too, because she's made over $100K on that.
I'm like, go for the reality shows. What is it, Love Island? One of those.
Everybody keeps trying to get her. The thing about her is it's not like she's from like New York. She's from Tennessee in a town that has like 788 people. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that this is like life-changing.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
For her.
Oh yeah.
Because she's now talking about how she has paparazzi at her house, in front of her house all the time. I mean, I'm not sure what they're waiting for her. Like she got famous for saying hot to it. Like is that's where my question comes in. Like what you're saying, like how long can you run it? Like, are you gonna go on the Tonight Show and
Paris
every
Hilton
now?
was saying what for 20 years? She's like, this is hot. This is hot. It's hot. She came up with
But that's
that one.
Paris Hilton.
But still, Paris Hilton was getting paid also for appearances. You know,
For saying
and
that?
Yeah.
I thought she was like a
hot.
whole fashion mogul though.
Not only because
She
she did the
comes
reality
from-
show with Nicole, but she was getting paid just for appearances to be at certain places, like a lot of money.
I feel like her coming on Jimmy Fallon would be funny as shit though.
It's hot.
Cause think about it, it's like, hey, God, blah, 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 can you say it for us? And then, like, that's literally what she's gonna do her entire life. Hot to us, spit on that.
Or
thing.
maybe,
It's like,
you know what? Maybe she will be around for a while, but
well,
Who
she's
knows?
apparently got managers and she's got attorneys now because people are apparently selling merch
Yes.
with her face and that comment on, and she's apparently launching her brand, which is what you were talking about, business now. And apparently her attorneys are going after the people who are going to be making knockoffs. So she's got a whole hot to a
campaign.
24 thing going on
Intellectual
there.
property there, huh?
Okay, my question is, if you guys got famous for a phrase you said, would you milk it or would you?
Viral lotto?
Oh, I'd milk the shit out of it. Who was it? Adasa from Encanto? I love you, Adasa, but she's milking the shit out of that, boy. She is Dolores everywhere. She is on Dolores tour for the last 2 years. Like, Encanto never finished
No, and
on
then
that
you
account.
think, and for the fact that Encanto 2 is coming soon, sometime point, but
At
it's
one point in time, yeah, but
It's gonna Dolores.
she is still at Comic Cons and all
I
kinds of
don't blame
stuff.
her.
She still has they must have given her the outfit because she has the outfit. She's walking around doing the entire thing. Hey, but I feel like that happens on everything. I feel like if you have, I guess in comedy, like if you have a good stand up. And people keep, or like a good joke, and you know.
So it's like the artists that we go see, like the nostalgia of it, like, you know, it's like I hope they do the song. It's kind of like that thing. It's like, will they forever milk it? It's not really milking it. It's part of their body of work. But to be known for something like a phrase like that, it's like
It's part of their body of work.
body of work.
Yeah, body of work.
No, I'm saying for her because of the phrase.
Oh, for her, it's a phrase. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? It's like, oh, why were you inviting her? Well, you know, the hot tour is part of my body of work.
But you know what the difference here is now that I'm thinking of it? It's like it's almost like a meme. It's like a meme when, like, you know when somebody sends you like an old meme and you're like, hey, this is funny. You're like, oh, I've seen this one already.
Yeah.
It's part of that library. So I think she holds a place in this
Yeah.
meme
In that
Hall of
spectrum?
Fame. Yeah, because it's like we can, like.
That's cool that you called it that, though. A meme Hall of Fame.
Well,
Yes, there
For
is.
example, it's like the kid that do you remember this video where this little kid's on camera? He goes, "I like turtles."
Oh my God, I still remember
Do you
him.
remember that?
Yeah.
So this will be in somebody's like Rolodex in their mind. It's like, do you remember this meme? Do you remember the Hawk Tua girl? It's
Oh,
like,
there you go. Yeah. So
it's not so much a thing, but it's also
It's
interesting.
the
when
pop culture and the pop culture.
That's the word.
I mean, I hope
You
it's
know
not
like
it.
the corn
I hope
kid.
she's not a VH1 special later on.
I like
though, 'cause
corn.
it's
What did he say?
like- you remember those? Those were
Yeah.
never any good.
Yeah.
They're
Okay,
like-
where they're now?
It's like, where are they now? The Hawk Tua girl. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, and then they just
the
show
corn
her
kid.
and she's holding a thing. Like,
Yeah, they're part of pop culture. That's it. She made
Yeah, I
she
think that's
made
what
her
it is,
print
yeah.
And stuff.
Right now, they're woven into the tapestry of what the time is now. You look back on it, you're like, I like turtle guys. Like, I wonder what he's doing now. You know, so.
or the corn person.
Yeah, the corn kid, the
corn
markers.
kid? I remember that.
He's been doing commercials, acting. So it's a viral lotto.
I mean,
So-
the thing with her is she's pretty, so I wouldn't be surprised if she moves on to something else or something like that.
Well, even the lady that I told you about the other day, the one that had the 50 episodes on TikTok with her real life
Oh,
story.
but she should just write it.
Risa Tisa?
No, she's not a writer.
That's different, though.
Risa Tisa,
I'm
right?
not gonna
Yeah.
put her in the same cat. What she did was creative as hell.
True, but
She
part
has
of
a whole
pop culture.
series.
I
That was a good
know.
series. I watched it.
Yeah.
Everybody was hooked as a novella. I know, but it's just that stamp of that moment in time that you're like, oh yeah.
Now,
you know?
because of her, people say, here we go, story time of like how I found out my, like now they're like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's like that. She was revolution.
he
I don't
told
know if you
me
know
that
who they're
Risa
talking
Tisa
about.
has
No.
credentials and the Hawk Tour girl is just.
So there was a woman who
moment.
had a relationship issue with a man. She found out that everything that he was doing
Was a lie.
And so on TikTok, she literally put that out there as like a series. And so she would do like day one.
It was like part one of how I
part
found out my
two,
husband
part-
was a
she
liar.
made it like a whole.
But people were hooked. Like
Yeah, Latinos, like uncles, they were sitting there, like as the captions were on the bottom, they were hooked they watched all 40 episodes.
Yes.
I think it was a long, I don't consider that in the near
to Haktua.
Near Haktua. I mean, that was just something that was caught.
I forgot who said this earlier, but something about going viral, right? It's like the choice. That's what makes things viral, that you don't have a choice. So it's like the internet or whatever keeps the video going will decide when the fire's over. Like the fire ain't over till it's over. And like the I Like Turtle guy, it's like everyone has really forgotten about it because it was so long ago, 10 plus years, right? But every so often it'll come back up, you know what I mean? So I feel like in this case, it's like, when is enough enough? Who knows? The internet dictates it. That's what's so wild.
I would write it though.
You would write it?
Oh, I would write it.
You would ride the wave.
So you would write it? Would you write it?
I guess you wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't have a choice. You write it as it comes. It comes in waves, and you have to write it. You know, it's like
you only get one shot, dude.
Yeah.
Like 100K. That's what she's gotten.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't turn that down.
I think as a creative, it's so like funny because you work so hard on certain things. You're like, I hope this takes off, and it doesn't. But it's
he's like, no, that's when the people have expectations, and then they get disappointed.
That always happens.
Yeah,
you
so
don't put any effort into a video, and then it goes viral.
I feel like if I got the opportunity and somebody turned around and started saying, "Hey, you're gonna come on this show to talk about this and blah," like I'm not gonna miss out on that money in this one in a lifetime chance. To like,
you're gonna be the guy known for that.
I can take care of my family with that money and all kinds of stuff. Unless it's something that's like unless you go viral for being a racist or something like that, then that's a different story.
Recently was I don't know if you guys seen this. Like, I'm so bad, so I'm even surprised. I'm like, oh, I have another example of this. There was a woman from Chile or Peru, so I forget, but basically this woman did a dance that went.
I know what
you're
talking about. Son Amores. She goes, It's so funny.
Wait, the lady, the dancing one?
Son Amores. But she's teaching you, and she's like, no, you're going to go like, and she's like teaching you, Amores que mata. And then she's like teaching you the moves. Now she's on TV.
She's on TV.
She's like,
it literally
yeah.
changed. Like, it literally
talking
was
about
like
the same person.
Son
right?
Amores? Is it that one?
I don't know.
Yeah, Son Amores. Yeah, we're talking about the same one. And
very
she goes,
viral.
boom, boom. Yeah, right? So she's teaching you how to dance this song, right? And even the artist of the song reached out, but she was on, like, their biggest shows in that country, and she made, like, a press run, and just her doing, like a silly dance and giggling with the song. Now, that changed
her life.
Her family's life.
Yeah.
Like, they were from a small village. Like, I don't want to put too much on it because I don't remember the specifics, but small village changed the family's, like, well-being forever. Like, they're, like... They were poor, and now they're like they have resources.
They have resources.
Look,
crazy.
this
That's
is
why
her.
I feel like
you get access.
Okay, no, I wasn't thinking about her, but I saw her too.
So she's teaching you that.
Oh, that's crazy though. Aw, man, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
And everybody's reenacting it on shows, like on TikTok, right? She's viral.
So
like, she's known for that.
Back to the conversation, this is the kind of meme hall of fame. That's part of it, right? In the Latino world, because this was more for a Latino audience that it caught on. But to bring it full circle is that I hope the Hatua girl has been able to find benefit to it, and it enhances her life as opposed to making it like a nightmare that won't end. For her, it seems like it's been a blessing. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
Dancing.
Yeah.
So that's always what I worry about.
See, maybe I was being a little like biased because with the Hatua girl, I was like, stop milking it. It was one phrase, get over it, you know.
Would you feel bad if she kept milking it for the next, I don't know, 20 years?
I mean, I guess when you put it that way, where you're like, it's benefiting her family, then you do what you got to, you know, do what you got to do.
From my understanding, look, she's in a small town in Tennessee that has 788 people. I'm guarantee you, 100K.
Not only that, she has a promising, or she wanted to like do a singing career, so that would level it for her to have access to what she did not attain at the time. Now she has an army of people working for her and an agency that is gonna bank on her too.
Yeah, maybe it'll allow her to live out whatever creative dream she has.
Man, I need to get out there and make somebody needs to interview me so I can just say some stupid
like, you
shit.
remember the guy also that did the song for, what is it? Stevie Nicks. I think it's Dogface. I think 420.
Oh, I know we're talking about the cranberry juice.
Yeah.
That he was like singing along like a lip syncing.
He's in a skateboard.
Oh, now here we go. Yeah, he's like in a skateboard with his cranberry
He
juice.
has created.
so
That was
lost.
the beginning of. That's another TikTok. That was the beginning of TikTok during COVID. He made a video and he went viral.
Yeah, I think it's Dog Face 420.
Dog face, yeah. So that's an
he would
example.
Take a skateboard to work. He was drinking a thing of like cranberry juice.
But he was so happy. He was playing good
Yeah.
music. The vibes were good. So everybody just loved him for his vibes.
Didn't the
And
company give him a
Fleetwood.
car or something like that? Like
And I think-
Everything, a truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Is like he has his own also.
doesn't he sponsor a bunch of like
dispenser brands and
different
stuff like
brands? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
No,
know
he,
that.
he has done really.
Yeah, I'm
remember
definitely
there was
taking advantage of that shit happens. You see all the talk that you guys.
Yeah, because the
Lady
idea-
got her
the
own
premise-
shows and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
the premise was that his car broke down, and that's why he had to take the skateboard to work.
But he was still optimistic about life, and that's why people loved him.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
So here's another part to it. I think the other part that comes.
He's like,
into
wait,
it-
there's more.
No, I think we're like stepping into something else.
Yes.
It's the reason we're talking about it because there's a captivating story behind it, right? They towed his car. He does his thing. He gets a car. There's a triumphant story
Rag from
behind it.
riches.
You know, the woman with the Soy Amores, small village, not a lot of resources. Now has resources taking care of her family. Like the Hatua girl is like, I'm curious to see. That's why there's management behind it. It's like, what's the story?
How they can-
We would love to hear. You know, it's like, is she a creative? I've been trying to sing my whole life. This is what got me viral, but this is what I'm doing now. Yeah, like,
Exactly.
I am curious
Give
about
me a
that
cool
because I want to
story.
see like even what her family life was and to see how it benefited her family. In a
sure,
way.
right? That would be interesting.
How's the turnaround?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about you, man. So I mean, like I said, the last time we were having a conversation, you know, you were doing stand up. We had just talked about. We were talking about we need to talk about America. That's what you were on. I think it was on Fuse TV.
Yeah. Wow.
Now you have your show, man. Roots of Comedy on
Comedy.
PBS.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, how did that concept come about?
Wow. I was working. We started working on it in 2020. Can you believe it?
Wow.
And we recorded
So
it
during the
last year.
pandemic, you guys were sitting there writing that up?
Right before everything closed down, we were like, you know, working it out, and then it went into like Zoom stuff. You know, we're trying to work it out, and there was nothing else to do, so I couldn't get on stage. I couldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
we just kind of chipped at it, but it took a very long time. And we didn't film this show until, actually, we were still filming last year this time, the last episode.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then so we finished filming it like second to third week of August, and now it came out 2 months ago.
It's really good. You know, it's funny because I wasn't paying attention to all the shows that were taking place. We've been planning so much, and my mother reached out to me. Not that I'm saying your show's old, but my mother, she watches PBS.
PBS.
My
Maybe
mother.
it's cool.
No, my mother reached out to me. She's like, by the way, you know the gentleman that you had interviewed, you know, a couple years back. I'm looking at a show right now called The Roots of Comedy. It's an excellent show. I love the way
Ay, qué linda.
he runs the entire show, and
Tell her I
it's
said
really
thank you.
entertaining. And so so you have like the number one fan because she watched all the
Well,
episodes
give
and
her a
so
big
forth.
abrazo for me.
Yeah,
That's very
she-
sweet.
She was, and then I watched it. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like the way
Thank
that you
you.
guys dig into it. How did you guys choose the comedians who were going to be on that?
That was very hard, man. That was very hard because we only had
Who to
6
highlight? 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, 6
Yeah.
episodes, docu-series. So it's like, who do you highlight?
He's serious.
It's tough because there's so many comics that I'm friends with, and a lot that were like friendly on social media who I love their work. So it was like trying to find like a diverse group of comics that showcase their community in a great light, and also are doing a lot of great work. You know, it's like the premise of the show is like how every joke traces back to community, and I thought that was really cool to be able to. I mean, we were in Portland, we were in Denver, we were in Navajo Reservation in Chinle, Arizona. We were here in LA. We went to Laredo, Texas. It was very special. It was really cool to hang out like Tatanka Means is not somebody who I knew before. We were friendly on social media,
Yeah.
but to go and really soak in. I had never been on a reservation before. To have that experience. Actually, we were there 4th of July weekend, so that was very complex visit, and he was very welcoming. His family was very welcoming. The town was very welcoming, and we learned so much. We got to hear so many stories, and we got to showcase, Tatanka, but that was every episode,
Yeah.
but really cool. It was a great experience for sure.
What was their like PBS? How did you guys end up getting PBS to pick that up?
So we were working. I was already working with PBS. They were working on a show. They had done a version of this before, and they were trying to like kickstart it again. And we were kind of tinkering with the idea of like what could it be, you know, and you know PBS was on board from the get go, and it took a long time. You know, there was a lot of fundraising that needed to happen. There was a lot of you know, working out the pitch deck to make sure that all the ideas were fleshed out and getting the right comedians behind it. And, you know, we got an amazing director. We got an amazing director of photography. You know, getting all the pieces in place was a lot of work. And it was really cool. You know, it was my first executive produced project like that, you know, and that was like a big blessing for sure.
Are you still doing, what was it, the tacos?
Tacos con Todo is no more, yeah.
Oh, it's done?
You
We
heard
never
it
got
here
to do
first.
it.
I know, you heard it here first. So they, there were some, like, it was at First We Feast. We only did 3 seasons, and that was kind of the end of it, you know. We did 3 seasons, and then, you know, it's like, you know, there were, like, companies merged with BuzzFeed. It was, like, kind of complex, but yeah, it was good. We did it for 3 seasons, and then, you know, that was it. And the skills that I learned there definitely helped me with, you know, roots of comedy. I thought that was really cool.
Is that something that you're gonna? Because it was kind of cool. It's kind of like the Anthony
Congrats
Bourdain
with
for
your
comedy.
executive producing, by the way.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you. That's very
tough.
sweet. It's a lot of responsibility and a lot of work. I mean, I was. It was a big team. It's like it's all a team environment, all teamwork, and it's like it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do to be move a project along and make sure it's great. Everyone has notes for the project, you know, because, you know, you want the project to be the best it could be. So everyone's, you know, kind of throwing in what they think would help elevate the project. And, you know, I had my pitches and some of them didn't go in, and that's okay. You know, at the end of the day, our priority was to showcase these comedians and make them, make them look good on camera so people can follow their careers and support them. That was our priority.
Where can people watch it if they want to go?
You can see it for free on the PBS app. All 6 episodes are there. You can even see them on YouTube now under the PBS channel.
That's why I took a pic of it.
Oh, cool,
On
yeah.
YouTube.
That's why I watched them, because my
Yeah.
mom was telling me about them, and then I caught some of the episodes on PBS, and then the other ones.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see it on PBS. All the local PBS networks across the country are airing it. They've been airing it now for a couple months. So you can check it out there. But they really made it really accessible for people to check it out. I think that's PBS's whole thing, you know, make it accessible.
Well, that's the thing about PBS. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with PBS because I didn't have cable.
everybody- yeah.
You know, Arthur and like,
It was our Channel
what a
13 in
great-
New York. Yeah, it's like
and I didn't have the privilege of
Arthur.
having cable, you know, so I didn't have Nickelodeon and like Disney Channel. But I remember every day after school running home to watch PBS, right?
Yes, 100%. Do you remember Wishbone?
Yes. Oh my
You
god.
remember
I still
Wishbone?
remember Wishbone.
Oh, man, that
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
good. Do you remember the grocery store show that they had? When it
Oh, is that
like
the one where
Price is
you?
Right?
It was like you shop for like a certain amount of things,
Yes.
and then whatever's in your car had to add up to a certain amount. I remember that.
And Sesame Street, of course,
Sesame
that's such a
Street.
big part of most people's upbringing here in the States.
Was Bill the science guy on there too? Or was he on?
Bill Nye, no,
Bill
I think
Nye?
Bill Nye was on Nick. Was it Nickelodeon? He may have been.
I
on-
remember seeing Bill Nye. I can't remember if he was on PBS.
I think he was on PBS.
Was he?
Or did you grow up out here in LA?
Yeah, technically OCLA. Yeah.
Was it Channel 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the UPN is like that's where. Who knows? But I do remember Bill Nye. Was
Yeah.
do you guys remember the Eyewitness? The kind of documentary, nature documentaries. I think they were called Eyewitness. What's the other one? Bob Ross. Seeing him paint, like that was.
Oh,
that was
yeah, I
huge
remember
for me.
that. Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to paint. I didn't
Yeah.
have all the colors, so I'm like.
I'm trying to think of more cartoons. What were other ones that were on there?
Puzzle Place.
Oh, yeah.
That was a puppet show. You guys remember that? No, Puzzle Place. What
There
else?
was.
I was born in Panama, raised in Panama.
You didn't
Okay,
watch PBS?
And by the time I got here,
By the
yeah,
time- yeah.
Sesame Street. Yes.
Sesame Street.
But the
yeah.
thing is that this is what happened in Panama because we had the Southern Command, the American administration. So Channel 7 will serve as one of the only English channel in Panama. So that was my Saturday morning. That's how I used to see Sesame Street, Inspector Gadget, all those shows in English.
Speaking of Sesame Street, I just found this out recently. Do you know that Sesame Street has a different Big Bird
Yeah.
for the different
Latinos,
languages?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a. I just saw this. You're right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So Plaza Sésamo, which is a Mexican version, is very different than like the French one. So Big Bird is completely different.
Different in like how he looks.
Yeah, it's a different
It's
character.
a different character.
Nice.
Yeah.
I literally just.
I don't think I've
learned
noticed that.
Yeah.
But I remember
think
Plaza Sésamo.
Plaza
Yeah.
Sésamo,
Yeah.
and it was
That
like
too.
orange and green. And of course, Big Bird was completely yellow with orange socks or whatever that was.
Wow.
Crazy.
But going into your books, congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel like I love the cover as soon as I saw
know,
them.
right?
And the names
Thank
of
you.
the books really made me feel like kind of like it resonated with me because my mom loves her plants,
Yeah.
you know, and our parents, like they obviously like Papa's Magica, what is it? Papa's Magical Water Jug Clock. Like I don't even have to read it and I already feel like I know what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your books.
So these books are like something I've tried to do for a long time, and I think that the first question people always ask me is like, why a kid's book, right? And I think like it took me a while to really put into words what it is, but and now what I say is like I always wanted to see myself in a book, and I never did. And the books that I read growing up here, I'm born here in Long Beach. My parents are from Mexico. Like the books never had parents that looked like my parents, talked like they did, or had jobs like they did. So, you know, seeing that my parents, I mean, barely knew how to read and write in their own language. You know, they had very little schooling between the both of them. It's like for them to see themselves in a book, I thought was like the biggest way for me to pay homage to them and you know, the American dream kind of thing, you know, it's like, but it was just such a big deal. I've been trying to pitch books for a long time and it never hit. And you know, they finally did. And I pitched these two first, so it was part of a deal.
Yeah.
And so they decided to publish this one first. And this one is based on my upbringing working with my dad. My dad was a landscaper.
Oh wow.
So I used to mow lawns from a very young age. You know, I did it for a very long time. Through college, I was even, when I did comedy for a few years, there was some overlap there. You know, that was a family business. So this book is based on an inside joke that my dad had, because he used to tell me that he was able to tell time based on how much water was in the jug. And I used to think that was like the most amazing thing ever. He goes, you know how I know it's time to go home? When the water's gone. I'm like, great. So whenever I wanted to go home early, I used to like waste water to see if I could go. And that became
I
the
love
basis.
that. Yeah.
And the message here
I feel like
is-
you were shading that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And the message here is like time and water are precious. You know, they shouldn't be wasted. So so that was the basis of it. And, you know, we got to work with an amazing Latina illustrator out of Austin, Eliza Kinks. And she's Tejana, you know, Mexican-American, just super talent. I mean, it's like I love her work. And the Spanish version was translated by my wife, Adria Marquez. And, you know, she you can see her name here on the new one. It wasn't on the cover of this one, but you can see it in the back. And I don't know, it was just cool to work with my wife in that capacity and work with an amazing, you know, Latina illustrator. And my editor was amazing too. You know, Italian woman, just a genius of a woman. Shout out to Maria Russo. And yeah, now
This
now
one hasn't came out yet, or no, right?
September 10th.
September 10th. Okay.
And this one's based on my mom's love for plantitas, you know, basically looking for a big brother to help her raise her plantitas, you know. And that's the story of my upbringing, you know. I would help my mom take care of these plants, but little did I know, it's like, that's how she raised me, you know. It was
You were only child, right?
only child, yeah.
Only child, I got you.
Yeah,
I feel like that's my mom now. Like my mom is just in the backyard as she's getting older.
yeah.
Like her.
That's what I say.
backyard-
Like that's why when I saw the cover
It's
and the
her
name of it, I
sanctuary.
was like, "That's my mom too." My mom has way too many plants, and they were dying recently when she went through surgery. But because my mom talks to her plants and she like has a whole relationship with them, and she says they feel, you know.
They do.
So
They do.
I've never understood that until now.
Yeah, there's a part in the book where it's like I'm trying to cheer up one of the plants that seems to be, you know, kind of feeling down, and it's like everything that I know works for me, but it's stuff that my mom told me. It's like, let's play catch, let's sing songs, let's dance, you know. How about a haircut? You know, I'm trying to cut the, you know, the leaves. So it's like I realize that those are all skills that my mom taught me, and I'm trying to take care of her plants. And then, you know, I break one of the plants or whatever, but the lesson here is that sometimes, you know, you got to break things, and something's, you know, sometimes things do break, but it's what allows us to get repotted and go into a bigger pot and be able to grow. So
that's deep.
That is deep,
I know,
and I love it.
But I'm like, well, you brought me back. My grandmother used to love a lot plants too as well.
What kind of plants did you have?
She had it though. She had the snake plants. She had begonias, petunias, you name it.
Yeah.
It was a lot. At first, I was like, and I was, at the time I was a teenager, and I was like, this patio looks like a jungle with so many plants.
Yeah.
But then I realized, because she told me also plants, clear the air. There's a natural air filter and many other properties that they have. How was this project, working? You mentioned you're working with your wife. You got recently married, or how is that going?
It's going great. I mean, I'm so happy. It's like my homie was like, how do you know, she's the one? I said, I still suck in my stomach when she walks in the room.
Do you consider yourself also a late bloomer because you took your time,
Oh, you think I'm a late bloomer? I thought it happened quick.
Wait, how is he a late bloomer? How old are you?
40.
That's not a late bloomer.
No, actually, I don't know why I said 40. I'm 38. Actually, I'm about to.
I
feel 40. I feel 40.
40.
That's so funny.
But you've been with her for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been here with her for a while, and we got engaged in New Year's, and then we got married April 29th. Legal stuff. Gracias, and we're still gonna do the church wedding next year. So
nice.
So we're doing the whole thing. So we just kind of eloped-ish, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we just did the thing.
Cool.
So yeah, it's great. It's great to be able to work with my wife in that capacity. I thought that she brought so much to the project because we're all Latinos here. We know how complex the language can be, and sometimes I found that the initial translation was good, but it's like, you got to put the twang on it. There's a lot of regionalisms and stuff like that. Because I am Mexican American and I grew up here on the West Coast in LA, there's a specificity that goes along with it that as soon as you read it, like, oh, this is Mexican American or LA Spanish. So I wanted that to be authentic to it, and I think she really did an amazing job consulting on the translation, and so that was cool. And then working with Eliza was great. I had no idea that authors and illustrators don't meet in the process till after the fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they don't they want you to have notes go through the right chain
of command,
going to the editor and this kind of thing. So we met after the fact, after this book, and then we became best buds, and we were definitely in communication through this one. We still followed the proper channels, but it was really cool to see a friendship strengthen between this book and that book. And I'm very lucky to work with the team that I have. It's been a blessing. I can't wait to write more book. So hopefully people can go out and get it. September 10th it'll be out.
That's very cool. I have one question on the when did I know that comedians write notes for your jokes and stuff, but when did you decide I want to make books?
Right.
Since I was a kid. I mean, that was up there. I wanted to have all I ever wanted to do is have comedy specials and be able to write books. And I'm like, if I could do that, I think I'll be very, very happy. And I'm on this journey. I'm like, if I get to do it now. It's like, man, I hope to do it until I'm a viejito. You know what I mean? So.
Well, ya está. You gave yourself 40.
40.
So.
I don't know why I said that. That's so. I'm still thinking about it. It's funny that you said that.
Mentally, you're done. That's it.
No, the fact that Yovi said you're a late bloomer, I was like, excuse me.
Oh, she was
what is
let's make that
There is
real.
no such thing as a late bloomer. If anything, I think there's better chances for you to have a more successful marriage the older you are when you get married. That's my opinion. Because you're more I feel mature and you know what you want rather than marrying very early on.
We do see people that get married young and you're like, okay, that works for them. And
but sometimes it works too. You never know. You never know.
Let's just face it. I think what she was saying is we're Latinos.
We're Latinos.
Yeah. She's like, if you don't have a kid by
25, married at 21, not knowing what the hell's going on in life.
Latino standards is pretty young.
I'm already ancient then because I have no kids.
And in Latino America, forget about that.
Yeah,
everybody's getting married the minute they pop out. You're arranged. You're like that. Fulanito just gave birth to Fulanita, and now they're gonna.
That's how we go about it.
Yeah.
So you're back on tour.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going back on the road. This month actually. Yes, I'm starting in Connecticut. And just moving around. So, yeah, I'm back on the road. I'm excited to get to start working on this new hour. I had the second hour come out last year in October. and got to go on the Tonight Show and promote it. It was really cool, especially for a self-produced special. I self-produced it and launched it, and I was able to go on there and talk about it. So I'm like, cool. Now I want to do another one. I definitely want to self-produce this next one. If somebody comes knocking, believe me, I mean, I would love to sit down and talk. But as you know, we have our eyes set on starting to work on the special now and maybe top of next year.
Any shows in LA? I would love to attend one.
Oh my God, yeah, you guys are invited. So I usually perform here at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. I'm there most nights if I'm not on the road. We know our schedules as of Tuesday. So as of Tuesday, they put up all the spots that the comedians are gonna do during the week in the comedy club. But yes, I would love for you all to come down. We'll grab a drink and
yeah, we're definitely.
How you decided the style of your comedy? How you decided the style of your comedy? Very observational, but very, because there's different styles of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And how you determine this is the way that I wanted to do?
I think the just trusting. I don't think it was an active decision of like I'm going to be an observational comic or this or a crowd work comic, like any of that. I think it just you go with look at the llama. Yeah, I mean it's like my observations, my lived experience. I like storytelling the most. I like telling a story and being able to fill punchlines in it and hold the audience attention on a single story like. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I like to make up silly stories and that kind of thing too. Like the closer for the last special was this story about a air fryer with chicken wings in it, and it felt so amazing.
That's the thing that I was like looking at your content, and I was like, oh, you decided also to keep it clean because you know that those are layers of comedy.
I tried to. I feel like there would be more opportunities if you work clean. So that was a decision that I was like, I'm going to try to work clean, and there's certain premises that I won't take on, certain ideas that I just won't talk. It's like, pa que, it's like,
you limit your comedy, no?
Yeah, you limit your comedy, and
well, not the comedy, but you limit the spaces your comedy can be seen.
You limit your comedy, but it at least to a certain extent ensures that I will be in certain spaces.
Yeah.
It's like, and I work really hard, and I know even while working clean that my comedy might not be for everybody. That's comedy. It's subjective. Lo que le gusta a uno no le gusta al otro, and that's great.
Correcto.
But lo que le gusta a la mayoría works out really well.
Yeah, 100%. I'm still trying to figure that out. La mayoría, it's like I do what I like, and it's it makes me happy. So.
Staying authentic, obviously, to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why not?
You obviously want to be in the majority because obviously you'll go mainstream, but at the same time you want to be.
You want to have fun. I think at the end of the day, it's like life is so like I've learned this in the last few years. It's like life can be so tough. It's like y todo el tiempo va a haber this or that. It's just like why not do something like as creatives that you enjoy, that you like, because at the end of the day you're gonna go home. It's like I got a chance to do that. Te haya ido bien o te haya ido mal, you're like, man, I had fun. I did what I wanted to do,
All right, so we got one more thing to do before we take off.
Sure.
But we asked ChatGPT the top 10 Latino songs of the 2000s. You're a 2000s person, right? Like everybody here for the most part is a 2000s person.
I 86.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so there you go. Yeah. And now that we know he's 40.
I'm like 91.
I'm gonna throw that in.
91?
1991.
91. Okay, so you were still there.
I'm ancient according to this.
Ay, Dios mío.
I should be on my third kid by now.
Listen, it's Latin standard.
I'm kidding.
It's Latin standard.
All right, give us the songs.
I'm gonna go through all these. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if it's right. So the top 10. Now this is according to ChatGPT. We didn't ask Latinos. We thought just throw it in there. So number 10. Oye mi encantó, which is Nore, Nina Sky, Daddy Yankee.
Oh, that's a good one.
Number 10.
I said that completely wrong because I read that.
Oye mi canto.
Oye me encantó. Oye mi canto. Yeah, hooked on Spanish worked for me.
ChatGPT said it that way.
ChatGPT said that. I just copied it the way it said it. Didn't even add the accent, so it was just like I don't know why I added that to that.
With naughty.
Tu amor me hace bien. Mark Anthony.
I don't.
They played that one so many times.
That's number 9. Yeah, that was overplayed.
But
I mean, it's saying it's
there's
top 10.
a slight intersectionality between that song That when he was with J-Lo and all of that.
It always goes back to J-Lo.
Yeah, it always.
It's like,
60 degrees of
She's-
separation.
It's about J-Lo, and we're just living in her world.
we're just living in her world at this point. And the Hot Tour girl.
Yeah.
Baila Morena.
Baila Morena, Baila
Hector
Morena.
Y Tito featuring Don Omar.
That's number 8.
This number 8. Number 7, which I have this song in my car. So.
I love this song.
Danza Kuduro. Which
Danza
is Don Omar.
I think it's a Zumba
Kuduro?
you know,
Kuduro.
anthem.
Kuduro. Danza
Zumba.
Kuduro.
Danza Kuduro is a Zumba.
Kuduro, yeah.
anthem.
It's Zumba. No, there's definitely Brazilian in there.
Well, it's Zumba.
La mano arriba. That's
know, it's the
yeah.
Cintura
That's
sola.
He's definitely
Yeah.
a signature from the Zumba.
All right, Dile. Don Omar. Wow, Don Omar is a lot of 2000s.
He was
Don
the
Omar is actually
2000s.
in tour.
I think the early 2000s were really like stamped by reggaeton, like the
Reggaeton
big
and, yeah.
burst of like Looney Tunes
And bachata.
Yeah,
Right.
bachata
was-
is
Looney
like,
Tunes.
yeah, those are that's true.
Which goes into the next one. Obsession.
Obsession.
Play that one.
Aventura.
Top.
Aventura.
Aventura
That
was
was-
the
that was
2000s,
the
yeah.
That was the original
back.
Ozuna. I mean, I feel like Ozuna really reminds
Yeah.
me of Aventura. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Ozuna?
Yeah, in writing style. Yeah. Different sound, but writing is like, that's the same.
I could see that.
Right?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, number 4. Adios Le Pido by
Oh my
Juanes.
God, that takes me to
Juanes.
Miami, totally.
That's a beautiful song.
Adios le
Wow.
pido. Yeah.
And then I'm shocked that this made the list, but I mean it was so big. Number 3 is Hips Don't Lie with Shakira.
That
and
was a big
Wyclef
song.
Jean.
That was a big
was.
song.
That collaboration was really big.
And then she takes number 2, La Tortura.
Yeah.
Shakira with Alejandro Sanz. And then number 1, I'll give you guys a guess. Who's number 1 in the 2000s?
Try to guess.
Ooh, number 1, happy birthday song. No, I'm playing.
This is like
The number 1 song in the entire planet.
Ever. Number 1 song, I would say, Gasolina.
yeah.
There you go.
It made
That's
me think
crazy.
of like,
I think
we're
it
in
is
that
number
reggaeton
1.
area,
Yeah. That was everybody's song.
Man, that's everybody's favorite song now.
And
It's
it's
still going all over the
20-something
place.
One thing I will say, where is We See Me Yandel?
No, 20.
I don't know. Look,
20,
ChatGPT
20 years
That was
old.
missing, I
That's
think.
There was
that's
quite a
20
few
years old.
songs. There was quite a few songs on here.
Weasley
that-
and then it was huge.
Yes.
Gasolina, 20 years old.
That's why I was shocked that they gave me two Shakiras. Because I feel like La Tortura was
And they
not-
gave you 2 Don Omars. Maybe they should have.
What if
You
you
know.
ask it to like, give me, like, ask it again and see if it changes any of them?
I asked it twice.
And it gave you the same list?
It's based off of popularity both in the charts and then popularity in public. And apparently these were the songs that hit both.
Really? Wow.
I was shocked because I was like, because sometimes it's subjective. Like when we had the ChatGPT one with the top favorite shows of the 1980, that changed a couple of times, and I went with the one that was the most like consistent.
Oh, with Nostalgia
This one
Latino?
didn't. Yeah, this one didn't. It went through all there. So,
Wow. That's
but cool that you guessed the number 1.
Because I'm like, if this is true, what else is true? Reggaeton in that era, it had to be Gasolina because that was like, at the time, he was the Bad Bunny of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it was nothing bigger.
Daddy Yankee.
Any country that you visited during that time, you're going to hear Daddy Yankee, Gasolina.
Very cool.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, brother. Well, I mean, this was amazing. If people wanted to follow you and get the books, where would they go?
JesusTrejo.com, Instagram at Jesus Trejo and a number 1. Got upcoming shows, hit the tab. Check out the show, make a reservation. If not, we'll see you guys at a Comedy Store.
Oh no, we'll definitely be there.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Guys, thank you for tuning into our show. Once again, every week, follow us on Todo Latino Show at Todo Wafi. Make sure you visit us on YouTube. Our episodes are just going lit, on fire. God, our Cobra Kai one is just absolutely going nuts. And we just put up Diana Lunas, so that's going to be amazing. This one will be up pretty soon. Make sure you go to RevolucionRevHHM.com for our festival, 3-day festival taking place in September, on September 20th through the 22nd. I'm Rafael. That is Daisy. That is Yobi. That is Jesus. And we are out.